Hello Rebels and welcome back to my life. So let me tell you about a parenting horror story that happened to me a couple of days ago. Right up front, everybody's fine. It's not a parent's worst nightmare, but it is a nightmare that you are likely to have if and when you become a parent. My older son, Luke, is just over 3 years old, and he's recently discovered how to get into childproof locks and the cabinets in our house because humanity has yet to develop a childproof lock that is actually childproof. Anyway, he got into the cabinet in the kitchen underneath the sink and pulled out a bottle of 409, and then he sprayed my son Desmond in the face with it. We did the whole thing you're supposed to do. We called Poison Control Center. They had us flush the eye, and then they said, you know, you can take him to a hospital if you want to. So we did. Desmond's covered. He has health insurance. Thanks, Obama, not ironically. His vision is totally fine. There's going to be no lasting effects. Everything's all good. He was rubbing his eyes a lot, somewhat understandably, and there were, scratches on his eyes, but they're very mild, and we have antibiotic eye drops to make sure that they don't get infected. So this was pretty much the worst thing that's happened to me yet as a parent. But in that sense, I'm actually very lucky. Many worse things could have happened. Many worse things have happened to other people, things that I'm not even going to talk about because that's just like too much sadness right now, or ever. But the worst part about it wasn't what physically happened to Desmond. That doesn't have any lasting physical effects. The worst part is the confusion. The confusion in a child's eye when something goes wrong and they don't understand it is like the worst thing in the world. Like, Luke was confused. He clearly didn't know what he was doing, and all of a sudden his brother is just in tremendous pain, and he doesn't know why. He cannot process what is happening. Like, he cannot. But much worse than that, I could see Desmond wondering what had happened. Like, he was trying to make sense out of why this had just happened to him, as though there were some sense to be made out of it, because as humans, that's what we do. We look for the reasons and the sense behind things. We are pattern recognizers. We try to figure out why things happen. How do you explain to children who don't even understand the concept of cause and effect yet why a particular event occurred and what, if anything, they can do to prevent it in the future? Obviously, we had a long talk with Luke, several of them, in fact, and I think he gets it. I think he gets the general idea. He knows that things like that are bad and dangerous and shouldn't be sprayed at people, but, like, how can you be completely sure? And as for Desmond, he's so young that we cannot explain to him what occurred. We can't tell him why it happened, not that there's some big reason. We can't explain to him that sometimes bad things just happen to people out of nowhere. The horrible thing is that I know it's just going to get worse when they get older, when they start seeing the really bad things in the world, like true pain, and sickness and torture and death. All of these things are going to hurt my kids very badly when they get older, especially when they happen to people that they know and love, and I'm going to be the one who has to explain to them. How can you possibly explain to a child the colossal unfairness of this universe? How at any time all human life on Earth could be wiped out and it wouldn't be anyone's fault. It wouldn't be because somebody on Earth did a bad thing, but just because a certain rock was spinning through space. How do you educate your children about these two facts that yes, good and evil very much exist in the human mind, but so often bad things happen not because a bad person did them, but because they just happen? So that's what yesterday's thoughts were like, and today's thoughts are kind of the same, as you can see. As with so many other times in my life, and as so many other people do, I think I need to get back to work. Not because it's going to fix the world's problems, but because it's better than sitting here and thinking about them. Thank you so much for watching, Rebels, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!